Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got my weekly recap video for you all. We're sitting just a little under 4 weeks out at this point from the North American Championships. Training is rolling smoothly. Same thing with my body weight. I'm slowly chipping that down, and it's affecting how training is, but overall I'm still feeling pretty good. So first up here, we had the safety bar squats from day one. Pretty fast, not a whole lot to say with those. Same thing with the RDLs. Sets of 10 are pretty brutal on the hamstrings. I can definitely feel the most fatigue in my hamstrings right now. Now we're on to day 2 with the 405-pound bench press for sets of 4. So we've kind of stepped the reps down a little bit. I played it safe with 405 back in the home gym. I was super happy with how that moved, and I'm pretty satisfied with the level of pauses that we've been doing in training too. So I'm hoping that pays some dividends in my bench press come competition. Then we lowered it to sets of 10 on incline bench. Went ahead and did this with 290 pounds. By the last set, I was certainly fatigued and starting to slow down, but overall feeling pretty strong with those. Now we're at day 3, starting with RDLs at 605 pounds. This was 4 sets of 6. I 100% feel the most beat up on this day, and I can just kind of expect it at this point. I don't know if it's just where it lies amongst my training, but these RDLs felt rough and just sluggish, and you can see by how they moved. And I feel most of my fatigue in my hamstrings as a whole right now, so they were certainly feeling pretty vulnerable after these sets, but as you can see, they still moved pretty well. All in all, this was followed up by a tempo bench. We're at 500 tempo up to 340 pounds. Overall, this was pretty easy as far as the sets go. I'm happy with my tempos, which, that's nice because sometimes in your head you feel like the tempos are right where they need to be and they're faster than they should be. But all in all, pretty happy with these. And then kind of closed off the main movements on this day with the sled squat. I think that's what one of you all told me it was called. I could also call this a hack squat. I kept it at the same weight as last week with 3 plates and a 25 on each side, mostly because I'm feeling a little more beat up in, as I said, my hamstrings and just my hips in general. So I didn't want to push this to the detriment of day 4. As you're about to see, things are getting heavier. My top double on squat was 695 pounds, which, we were just hitting this for doubles a couple of weeks ago, but my body weight is significantly lower, about 4.5 kilos lower for that matter. As you can see, I got the SBD USA singlet on, so that's some nice motivation. Things are starting to feel real as far as going to North Americans now. But all in all, I'm happy with how the set moved. I'm still certainly getting used to my body weight and making those adjustments. As far as I tend to be a moderate squatter as far as speed goes. I don't have as much pop out of the bottom because I don't have as much of a stomach, etc. But as you can see, that was probably a solid RPE 8, if not a little bit less. And then that was followed up by 2 sets of 4 at 615 pounds. I will say the gym is darn hot, so I am just leaking water, and I don't know if you can tell, my hair's wet, but you'll probably be able to tell in my bench video you're about to see. Shirt is completely saturated, the whole 9 yards. So I would say these moved well. They felt okay. I'm feeling a little creaky, like I said, in the hamstrings and hips. But, I'm just trying to get everything dialed in over these next couple of weeks to get recovered. You can see on that last rep, I definitely lost some tightness, and it was harder than it probably should have been. Bench keeps rolling, though. This was supposed to be a single at RPE 8.5. I think I nailed it. If not a little bit on the undershoot side, I would call this an 8 to an 8.5. So spot on, 450 pounds. Very happy with the pause here and happy with the speed. So considering this is only 13 pounds under what I hit at Nationals, I think we're on the road to hitting a nice bench at this competition. The back downs were challenging. I was supposed to back off just 11 pounds, and that would have put me at like 435 or 440 for triples. But honestly, as you can tell with this 430, the first couple of reps moved well, but they definitely slow down from the pauses. So I didn't want to push things too much, and ultimately I regulated down to 425 for one of the sets as well. Now, for deadlift, I just want to give you all a heads up. For these last couple of weeks, I'm not going to show you my top deadlift. That's for a little bit of strategic reasons, as well as, just all in good fun. I want to keep it a surprise what's there on game day for you all. I am going to release a longer video after North Americans, where I will have those top sets in the video along with my commentary. So be sure to check that out after North Americans is over. Otherwise, my back downs here with 645, it was 2 sets of 4. This was a long day in the gym. It was hot, and I was butting up on that 4-hour mark of training. So these were a little more sluggish than, maybe you would expect otherwise. But part of it was just, I was getting tired and fatigue, and like I said, my hamstrings have been really feeling it this week. But all in all, to be hitting this kind of weight for sets of 4s, feeling so beat up, is pretty promising. Okay, so that just about does it for the week. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for North Americans? I know I definitely am, and I'm looking forward to hitting some big numbers. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy lifting.